Wealth, fame, power.
Imagine a kid in a sandbox, right? A 5-year-old kid in a sandbox. And imagine you tell this kid, hey, you're God, right? And this sandbox is your world. And you control everything, and you have all the resources, all the money, the power, the fame, the glory, all the things that have influence in the world. You have them. Now, what will you do with this time that you have? An infinite amount of resources. So much resources that if Moses himself was a billionaire and spent $1,000 every single day, he would still be wealthy today. He couldn't even run out of the money, right? And when these people die, what happens to it? And this is where the story of the 5-year-old kid in the sandbox comes in. You say, what are you going to do with all of this money, with all of this power, with all of this influence? What are you going to do in the sandbox? And the little kid's like, I'm going to buy cars. I'm going to buy all these cars in the sandbox and play in the sandbox with my cars. And I'm going to buy boats, really expensive boats, really cool boats, really big boats. And I'm going to buy helicopters, and I'm going to buy all this property all over the sandbox. And oh my goodness, I'm going to enjoy my life in the sandbox for real. And then, the teacher says, what about all the, starving sand people? What about all those sand people that are suffering? You could, help and alleviate their suffering. Don't you want to do something about it? Nah, wait, can I save money on taxes if I do it? Wait, okay, I'll make my own foundation, then I'll, donate to it. And it's a 501c3, and then I can save taxes on it. And actually said, I will, okay? And it's like, that's not the point, little Johnny, right? Do you want to help the people in the sandbox? Or are you just going to actually not only not help them, but actively make life even harder, right? Because I know a lot of people are going to be like, socialism, capitalism, socialism, we need communism. This is the only solution to the inequality. But what happens in socialism, right? What happens in communism? What happened in China, in Vietnam, all over the world, right? Because the communists are still human beings. Human beings will still say, oh, even though we have this socialistic paradise that never ever comes to fruition, the idea is good in a sense, right? The idea of sharing and of like not having somebody, make 1 cent a day and live in a crappy life, and then somebody making $1 trillion a day and then they're living an unimaginably good life. It's not fair. And that's where socialists kind of get you, right? But then as soon as you look at history and you realize, as soon as like Mao gets to the top, he starts doing all this mean stuff to people and unaliving people and stealing from people and overworking people and enslaving people. And what, are you happy because it's socialism? No, because human beings in charge of any system will corrupt it inherently. The same thing for capitalism. We have crony capitalism. We have capitalism where, you can kind of nudge your politician friend and nudge this friend that kind of knows the deal's going to go through, and then make $1 billion off of insider trading. But it's in a gray box. You have special privileges. Kind of reminded me of the Jeffrey Epstein situation, to get a little off track, that, you'll get in trouble for a lot of things, but if you're hanging around with billionaires and going around with little kids, diddling them all over the world, you're not really going to get in trouble. They're going to look out for their friends.